Hello and welcome everybody out there in YouTube and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic time. Now, before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. If you don't enjoy this content, well then screw you. Comment down below about how that makes you feel personally. In addition to that, if anybody is interested in joining any of our games, including this one, we do have open slots available. Be sure to reach out to me and let me know if you want in on any of them. If you want to support us even further, you can just join our Patreon under one of our lower pledges, and that gets you into our Discord server where you'll be able to hang out with all of us, join in some of our games, and just as a little something that I need to let every group know, Thursday, y'all, we are celebrating my 6th year of being a content creator. I was on Twitch for most of that time period, obviously. However, 6 years in total of me streaming D&D games, creating content, and building this living universe. 6 years, y'all. So we're going to be doing a little karaoke Zoom with everybody in the community. It's not going to be streamed. Fuck everybody else. It's for us. No one else. So yeah, if you're interested in joining that, just go ahead and join our Patreon down below, or let me know. Hey, players. I hope we see some of y'all there at karaoke on Thursday. But anyways, Fortram, go ahead and tell us what happened last session.
Last session, we were visited by a head bobbing down the river while we were out wandering through and around some swamps. The head turned out to be attached to a body of a the swim in the water elf, a aqua elf in pink. She was interesting.
Aqua elf?
Whatever she was.
A Triton. Kind of he was actually a Triton.
Yeah. That was a he?
That was a he.
Explains so much now. All right. We had a really enjoyable time with him, and then we were led by him to we decided that we would help him find his party that he had been leading through the swamps. However, we didn't really let him lead us to them, so we led ourselves, found his group that had been lost, as it had been taken by a giant in the general vicinity. The giant was away, but we found a bird cage. We snuck our way up into a bird cage, retrieved the notes that were needed by our person who was the leader of the lost group, fed the baby bird, tried to make nice with the baby bird. Subsequently, we heard the giant coming back. We ran for our dear lives. The baby bird seemed to be the baby of a rock, which is a super big bird, and it was a super big giant. And the super big giant at one point was like, I know kind of where you are, and just threw a lightning bolt in our general vicinity, which was plenty to scare us farther away. Luckily, because we had nicely fed the baby bird, nobody decided to eat us or kill us, and we got kind of a, yeah, all right, you guys can go, and we ran like there was no tomorrow. Handed off the notes to the Triton person, who subsequently went, thanks, and then was about to jump back in the water. We were like, wait a minute, you were going to give us directions to the hag that we are looking for. We're in the swamps because we're looking for a hag to break a curse on the Astoleth family. And she basically pointed in the general westernly direction and said, yeah, it's over that way. See how this part is lush woods? Over that way, it becomes dead, like dead woods. And in that area, that's where the hag was.
Yep.
And yeah, there we went.
And I know Regina ran off with her. Him.
Oh, and subsequently Regina ran off with him because...
By the way, Fortram, I hear myself echoing through you.
Oh, sorry.
You're good.
We do that. There. Probably should be fine now.
Hear it a little bit.
Do
Nope,
ya?
not anymore. Now it's good. Now it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
So yes,
Yep, that should do it. That's it.
Regina successfully runs off with this new individual, the nowhere near as pretty conventionally Corvus, but had a really good gyrating hip thrust movements about them. So, all of you are back together. Corvus, you finally get back from the bathroom. The nerves have been killing you, man. Like it's not anything pleasant for anybody to have to deal with. But yeah, you dealt with it. Your nerves are back, and you rejoin with everybody around you.
All right, what I miss?
You missed the other Triton.
There was another one.
There was a green one. I don't think you were related.
Pink. It was pink.
Was he pink? I thought it was.
No, he was pink.
Oh,
Are you colorblind or?
well, a little bit. I've been trying to stare at this book for so long that I'm starting to lose sight.
I think I heard about that, a case of that once.
Yeah. We saw the biggest giant I've ever seen. I ran away from it. We found this skull. And a few other things. And Regina ran off with the other Triton. So Lord knows when she's coming back.
So yeah, now it's just the three of you. Jasper is currently away in the bathroom right now.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of use.
I think all this travel through the jungle has caused a lot of issues with people in their digestive systems.
Yeah,
There's
looks
been a
that
lot
way.
of long bathroom breaks over the last few weeks. Yeah. So I guess we need to head off towards the hag, but I'm not sure, Corvus, you ever really decided what we're doing with this item. I think we all kind of decided that we had a few options, but it was kind of up to you since it's your family on the line.
All right, just to recap, let's go over those options again.
Well, there's always the option that we don't give it to her, or we try and fight her, though I'm not sure that's going to relieve the curse unless it happens to break with her death. We had talked about sending forward everybody but one person to stay behind with it and go and verify that giving it to her will fulfill the obligation, because we're concerned that maybe she had said at some point that it would not be enough anymore. So we worried maybe we were going to have to negotiate to complete it, and we didn't want to bring the item directly to her if we were going to have to negotiate.
That's probably the better of those options.
I feel like I could negotiate with her.
You know, strangely, I don't disbelieve that.
I still think we make a fake one.
I don't think that would go over well. Something in me just says that she can probably tell what this is. That she probably would know if if it was a real thing in her hands.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, if she were to detect the magic on it, we made it ensorcelled some way so that it had the same flavor. I don't know. We got a little bit of walking to do, so let's walk and think about it as we go.
So, you all begin heading deeper towards the southwest, I believe it was, from your current position. You went to that one. Southwest.
Yeah.
And you just begin trekking through the swamp, moving over different mounds of clay, mounds of mold, and other algae that all seem to accumulate with moisture that is very uncomfortable in this environment. The heat is spreading across you all, and despite the fact that everywhere else you've been up until now has been relatively cool or cold, it is now inhospitable in this location. It definitely feels like the air around you is thickening. You can almost drink the air. It is so condensed. No?
Does it taste
Uh,
any different?
Why don't you roll me a
Mold.
nature check?
Oh Lord! All right, that's not my forte. Neutral.
10. You don't really come from humid environments in general. I mean, you were at the Menagerie Coast, but a beach humid is completely different than a bayou humid.
Yeah.
So, different,
If
yes.
I taste anything,
How
I drink
so?
whiskey.
Okay. That's how you beat poison. More poison. But anyways, yes.
Just got to
So
build
you
up
all-
a tolerance to it.
That's just like every poison. So you all keep moving. Now, I would like a survival check from one of you.
I got it.
Perfectly average. For you.
All of my rolls tonight are perfectly average.
Yeah. Hey, that's good enough.
Yeah.
As you begin moving through, you start picking up pieces of the jungle that look different. Like the humidity and moisture has been ripped out of branches and they're not from this location. So you use that almost like a trail that leads you deeper and deeper into this area. And after walking for about 3.5 hours, you successfully come across a completely different landscape and environment. As you are moving through, you break out of the large vines and all of you step up and you see this incredibly large, petrified section of this jungle. The trees are all completely bone dry, looking like a disgusting gray coloration. You see thick webbing filling this area almost completely all the way across it. An incredible amount of spider webs in this location that does not bode terribly well for any of you. Now, who wants to roll me a religion check? You know what? All three of you go ahead.
Religion.
King of int checks.
Argon, you are so good at not thinking. As a wizard. 13. You walk closer towards one of them, and you definitely discern that there are different types of webs in this area, Corvus. But any more information about the inhabitants of this section, unfortunately, you can't make at just this glance of the location. Visibility is better in this area because there's less vines, less overgrowth. It's all dead.
Is there any high spots? A big rock? Something that we could get
There's
up on to
trees.
just sort of... Yeah. I'm not a tree climber respectively.
I could probably try.
Good
Just
point,
feel
it's
like
not an
a
intelligence
vantage
check.
point for a look would probably be good.
Make the intelligence check.
Hey,
Oh,
Arden,
I was-
do you see anything up there?
I don't think I'm that much taller to gain a different perspective on the
Well,
area.
roll me a perception
Just
check,
stare him
Argan.
down. I just stare up at him like, are you replying that to me? All right.
Argan's only 2.5 heads taller than you.
Really?
And not very perceptive.
Yeah, you look around this landscape and it doesn't really look inhabited to the naked eye. If there is something here or things here, they're probably more predatorial than the jungle, or than the jungle you are leaving.
Right. Joy. Well, gents, what do we want to do? We want to just wander?
Well, I mean, this sounds like the area Finn that Triton described.
Yeah, I agree. I guess I'm just going to scan until I see what looks something. Well, that looks interesting. Let's head that way.
Give me a perception
from
check.
my vantage point. Okay.
Yeah.
Because from my vantage point, I don't know that. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
This is all
All right.
dead.
Fordrum, roll me a d8.
Damn it. All right. There we go.
You all
Ones
watch
will
as
travel.
Fordrum begins traveling, and after about 4 or 5 paces, I need you to give me a dex save, Fordrum.
Deck save.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Failed that too.
You begin falling down a section of loose dirt that seems to have been piled higher in this area, and you stumble and fall and crash into all of these large webs all over you. And as you crash into them, you will suffer 8 points of slashing damage.
Holy crap.
As you feel these razor-sharp edges of some of the webbing that is wrapped and tangled around you as you've fallen into it.
Ow! Mother damn whiskey.
You all
right.
look over at him, and he's completely entangled in these webs.
Little help? Watch your step.
All right, I'm gonna try to help him.
All right. So give me a... go over there and give me a acrobatics or athletics check to make it to him without stumbling like he did. 15's high enough. You managed to, like, very carefully move around and get over towards him. And you can reach his leg and try yanking him out of there if you would like. But these webs look pretty strong.
Is there any way I could try to, like, cut him out, or?
You can try if you would like. You're the one who made it up to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do more cutting than just try to yank him down.
Okay. So after taking a good couple of minutes just snipping away with your blade at many of them, and you do feel that the spider web even attaches itself to your blade. If it wasn't exceptionally sharp, it might even entangle your weapon. But after you get enough of them out, you do manage to drag Fordrum back up to your landing.
I was afraid I was going to have to burn you out of there.
Yeah, I was about to burn myself out of there.
Well, I saved the day yet again.
Yes,
You
thank
did.
Corvus. My hero.
Well, so now we know to keep the lookout for that. Yeah. Can I, like, search around and see if I could find a worn path or anything like that?
Give me a survival check.
I was hoping it was going to be investigation.
You know what? I'll allow investigation.
I
Why?
won't find
Come on.
anyways.
Come on, just don't roll intelligence checks. You do great. Don't roll intelligence. You do great. You are a wizard in book only. For reference, he has a +1 survival and got a 16. He has a +9 investigation and got a 12.
I don't even know what you did to my character to make me do this. But
I didn't do this. Roll20 hates you, man.
It does. We need to move.
It saw what happened to my last level 20 wizard. It doesn't want any of the other ones to get there. But anyways, as you begin looking around this area, you do notice that there appears to be a windy path through this area that has charred bits of webs. Like somebody walked through and torched a path through here. Without destroying everything, of course, just destroying enough to actually traverse. Though it is designed for a much smaller individual, smaller than any of you. Both height and width.
Well, I think if this, following a path just seems simple, yet dangerous.
Danger is kind of part of the deal at this point.
Yeah. I pull my axe out.
All right.
I'll go if you're ready.
You have a torch or something we can light so you can burn your way through rather than dulling your axe?
I look at him like I don't really understand the question. Burn your way through. Yeah, we could.
That's what this one person already seemed to do. You could just grow that.
For them. All right. So I take a torch. I put my shield on my back, keep my axe in my hand, and I go shield, sword, and axe. That seems like a better idea. Or I go axe and,
torch.
Yeah.
Torch. Now keep in mind, you are proficient in torches. They do hurt people.
I know, but compared to the shield and the axe, they don't do anything.
Sure.
We don't practice fighting with torches very often.
So, thanks to the path that Argyn had found, if you follow along that direct pathing, just torching your way through so that the three of you can fit through, you're not going to be impeded along your movements at all.
I make a few jokes about trying to torch the tall parts and not able to reach, and leave it a little low, so Argyn's got to duck a few times, but
that's fair. As you are moving through, you all do hear the creepy skittering noises in the surrounding area. Periodically, you even see an incredibly large spider, and by that I mean roughly about Fordrum size, moving through here. And there's not just one, there's several. They seem to be traveling, eating, catching. But they manage to stay out of the path that all of you are currently burning through. At one point, I believe, Corvus, you're the one with the high perception in this party, right?
Oh,
No, Fordrum is.
Uh-huh.
You watch as a spider appears directly beside you with a white and blue body, looks at you, and as it starts crawling, just disappears from sight.
Anybody else see that?
See what?
Right on.
I didn't see anything.
I think there was a spider right there, and it was white and blue, and then it went from there up to there, and I sort of trace it with the torch, and then it disappeared there. So just be aware in case there's a spider that suddenly appears.
No.
So,
And I keep moving.
you all walk through this area, and you notice now that as deep into this forest as you all are very deep underneath these webs.
Wait a minute. I got an idea. We made a dagger of seeking. Who has that? Is it
Jasper does.
It's Jasper?
Yeah.
Jasper.
Oh, hey, Jasper shows up. Yeah, hey, hi.
Hey, here, hand me your dagger for a minute. I'll give it right back.
Sure. He hands you the dagger.
Yeah. And I sort of put it on my hand and I'm like, which way to the hag? So it can spin
Alright.
freely.
So, Dagger of Seeking, if I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
is that the locate object, locate creature, or which? Give me a second, let me look at it. I have the Google Doc open already.
Okay.
Rare, right?
Mm-hmm.
Weapon gains Seeking. As an action, you can activate this augment and declare a creature type of your choice. You're declaring Hag.
Hag it is.
All right. Hag is not a creature type. So you have to declare Fiend or Fey, if you remember which one it is, because you did learn that.
Yeah, got it.
Or if you know a specific creature, which you don't know her specifically.
Yeah. I'm gonna turn around to Argon and Corvus before I make this, and I go, we gotta remember what kind of creature type it is, because it's not seeming to respond to hag. Is it she's a fiend, right? Or was it a fae? Does anybody remember? I seem to remember fiend, but I didn't pay
I
a lot
don't
of attention.
think she's a fiend.
No?
Yeah, that doesn't sound right.
I would think either Fae or maybe Aberration.
Aberration? I don't know if aberration's one of our choices.
Religion
Can I roll?
checks.
Oh, religion. Okay.
All three of you, religion checks.
Here comes that in.
Hey.
Oh, finally.
Hey! Okay. Corvus and Fordrum, I mean, hags, as far as either of you know, there is associations with fae and there is associations with fiends.
Right.
However, Argon, the fact that you are standing inside of a spider's territory, the way that this entire area has been molded and shifted into an inhospitable climate specifically meant for insects to dwell in and exist very, very well, you imagine she's probably fae.
All right.
Fae usually have closer associations with insects and animals than fiends do.
Yeah.
However,
Works for me.
Argon, you start realizing a few things. You remember reading about a couple of different types of hags that aren't your typical ones in Exandria. Though, of course, they could exist here, as many creatures do, even if they're not native to this realm. But there is a specific group of them that are masters of stealth and guile and can hide their deceptively bulky bodies behind small objects and fitting through creases in doors and corridors with relative ease. They also are like spiders with prey in their webs. They can sense the presence of any nearby creature within their proximity. And once they have decided on which target to slay, they have a devastating blow that can slay very mighty heroes in a single hit.
Oh,
Well,
And-
I'll share that happy information with the group.
Yeah.
Well, what is their devastating blow, if I can be so bold?
A
Is it
strike.
poisonous?
That the text that I read didn't get that detailed into the description of the blow. I imagine because few people have survived it.
You know what? You rolled fairly well. I'll tell you, their blow is not poisonous in nature. It is their daft predatorial type of strike where they move their attack through the body to pierce vital organs. It's not really a damage
horrible.
type. You would probably estimate that it's probably piercing, if anything.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyways, you speak out Faye, and the dagger spins in the palm of your hand and shink into a specific direction. And you start following the path, which is leading directly in that direction.
Okay.
The path you are walking, though it is not as direct as the dagger would point you, presumably is safer since someone else already traversed it and went further ahead. So, you all continue traveling further and further ahead. Your heads completely engulfed underneath this canopy of thick webbing to the point that, aside from Fordrum, none of you can actually see on top of this mountain of different webs. Not until you get another 200 or so feet in. And you see, through some of the breaks in the webbing, this massive tree that looms outwards and has these little tiny spiders dropping down and coiling into this magnificent webbing all around you. There's spiders of all variety and colors just moving around as they see fit. And even further up ahead, you see a deceptively small figure sitting down on a stump, hood wrapped around their head, hiding most of their body except a lone witch's staff in their hand as they just sway from side to side, directly beside this massive tree.
Okay.
Remember, the hag can make itself look deceptively smaller.
Is that what the dagger's pointing to?
It is pointing roughly in that direction.
All right. Well, ho there.
Joy, you look up and you see these four individuals, sorry, Jasper is here, walking through your path, just burning it a little higher than what you had to do. Would you like to describe what you look like?
Joy standing at 3 foot 2 inches, so great height. Goblin, green skin, lilac eyes, blackish hair, not pretty dark. Has ear pierced, decently long ears, very fine clothing, like very well made. Weird. And she's just moving about very energetically, like not staying still at all.
Very ADD.
Very ADD. From the first impression you can get, she's ADD kind of thing.
Well, yeah,
ODD.
you had no idea these individuals were approaching you until exactly when they made themselves aware.
Hello.
Hello?
I just look back towards to see if there's anything catching they're burning.
No. They followed your path, which was made inside of that very specific silken exterior that when you burn it does not ignite all of it, just burns through that one section. You specifically looked for that for a reason.
Yeah.
You don't want to fuck with all the spiders.
Why are you here?
We're looking for a hag. Why are you here?
Looking for a hag.
Okay. Are you looking to make a deal with the hag, or are you looking to deal with the hag?
But more just talking. I just wanted to come talk.
And you
I was
chose
so-
a hag.
Well, yeah. How often do you get to talk to a hag? How many hags have you talked to? I'm
I feel like I could make a couple jokes about aunts and uncles or aunts of mine, but no, seriously, I don't know. Is this a
No.
quiz? Like, I think you could make, if you live in the neighborhood of a hag, you could speak to a hag all the time, but if you don't, then you have to come here
But
for this.
I just was told that the hag here knows a lot, so I came. And then really better do. I did need to discuss something, but it's fine. Oh, hi.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't get to introduce. Hi, I'm Joy.
Hi, Joy. I'm Fordrum. That's Argon. That's Corvus.
She hops off the stump and starts walking up to you.
So for height
Okay.
reference, Fordrum, you come up to Corvus's like mid chest. Joy comes up to your mid chest, and Corvus comes up to Argon's
Right.
bottom chest. So it's very AT&T right now. Just
Right. We look like the bars on
4
people's
full
phones.
bars.
Yeah.
New party name.
Oh no, the 5Gs. Oh no.
I love that.
All right, Joy, here's the deal. We're not here to really negotiate. Well, we're kind of here to negotiate with the hag. We may end up in a fight with her because she's cursed Corvus's family. Now, if you're here to parlay with the hag, you may want to take your business with her before we get in touch with her.
I'm just here to drop off. She starts digging in her backpack. Has a book. I need to return this, I was told. And just
You have a book you have to return to the hag?
it's not mine.
Do you know what the book is?
What's the book, Jiro?
The Wisp in the Night, a philosophical book about how the advantages of dark vision actually grant predators at night an acute advantage against anybody else who attempts to go against their natural calling of staying in the daylight.
Yeah, I was just told to bring this back and pick the brain of the hag. I guess.
If I could ask, who gave you the book to give back to the hag?
I'm a mentor.
That your mentor had borrowed this book from the hag?
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah.
How did your mentor feel about you?
Oh, he was very happy to have me. Why?
I mean, it seems pretty dangerous to send a pupil on a task to return something to a hag.
Oh, he has the utmost confidence in me. Plus, with how much fast I can go right now, it's not immobile right now, but that's not the case at all.
Huh. All right. Well,
Yeah, I just gotta bring this and I'm just gonna talk to her. I
Yeah.
could do the talking later after I drop off the book if y'all want me to.
well, I don't know. This is a pretty good time, I think, for us to decide, like, how we're going to approach this scenario. Corvus,
Well,
do you have a plan or an idea of how you would like the conversation to be with her? Or should we just see what we get and adjust accordingly? I mean, I assume it's a parlay, but that's my assumption, so I don't know.
honestly, knowing our track record, anything is going to turn into must adapt accordingly.
Right.
However we go into this. So we might as well go into it
All right.
deferentially.
Argon, can you do that magic where you blip away real fast?
You mean where I, misty step from one location like 30 feet away?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. We give the tuning fork to Argon. Hold this.
Okay.
And if getting away is paramount, maybe you'd be the way to get away fast. Is that okay, Corvus?
I can agree to that.
All right.
Joy, because this is happening directly in front of you, roll me an Arcana check. Tuning forks are one of the most magically sought after devices in all of Exandria, especially if they attach to different planes of existences. They are the literal conduit that allows you to move over to another plane of existence if you can perform magics of that quality. You're not quite there yet. And stay there for longer than 48 hours. Because, of course, the law of attunement, if you try going to a different plane of existence and you do not have an artifact specifically attuned to that plane of existence, you immediately get ejected from it back to your home because of the law of tethering in,
Magical
those
period.
amount of hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that right there is one of the most highly sought after magical devices in all of Exandria.
Y'all have a tuning fork? Can I see?
No.
Can I look at it?
I just look over my shoulder at Argon, like,
I can't see any of them again.
I let her step past me to look
Yeah.
at Argon, figuring if she's looking at it in Argon's hand and anybody flinches, I could probably cut her head off quickly enough.
Joy doesn't notice.
Yeah. I'm not doing it threateningly. I just...
Well,
Joyce.
Where did you... Argon, right? Where did you get that? I've heard of those and I know of them in books, but I haven't actually seen one in person.
Deep in a cave.
Deep in a cave? Why was it in a cave? It could have been a cave. Was it from the sorcerer or was it from what? I wonder, huh? Did you fight... What kind of... Do you mind if I pick your brain for a few hours? I have so many questions.
We don't necessarily
you know where it goes?
have a few hours, but
Do you know where it's attuned to?
yes. Don't we?
Yes, we do.
You do.
Yeah.
Do.
Do you mind if I ask? Or was that something you can keep hush hush? That's like some secret stuff. Some like spy
I don't know that it's super secret if it's attuned to here.
to this plane?
Yes.
That could be very useful for bringing outsiders in. If you had a friend like on a different plane, you want to bring him here, someone strong, I guess you could use it in that way. But there's also many other things you can do. Probably also sell it for power to send a demon in.
Yeah, bringing something here was our biggest concern.
Well,
Right.
that's the best use of it at this time I could think of. It's just off the top of my head what I'd use it for. Like bring something strong here.
Joy, can you
Fordrum.
tell us what
Sorry.
other...
1 second,
Sorry.
Fordrum.
Yeah.
As she is babbling, your dagger, which was positioned like kind of past Joy, begins rotating to your right and is now pointing behind you.
I just turn around.
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. 11. Right in the middle again.
I mean, the
Jesus.
dagger's pointing in that direction, which means theoretically whatever Fae is near you should be in that direction. However, you don't see anything other than the webs. Now continue.
Yeah, different uses of it. So what were you gonna say, Fortune?
Do
Yeah,
what?
a question for me?
Can you tell... okay, so if it's attuned to this plane,
Mhm.
you said something about you could bring things from another plane here.
Oh yes. What you have to do is you have to bring it to the other plane first. Whoever you want to bring back. Like, say if I wanted to bring, it's not the most noblest reason, but one of the lords of the abyss. If like say Baphomet, for example. If I wanted to bring
hell.
Baphomet,
Wait,
and
no,
I just
Let,
sorry, cut you off right there. On a 26, no. You can only bring forth a creature that is of equal power as the attuned
Oh,
forth.
okay. Okay, well,
Baphomet is
way
way
too
too
strong. My bad. I'll
powerful.
bring it back down. Okay.
This thing could bring, like, you know, a Baylor at most.
Okay.
You
Okay,
know,
so
like,
say-
not that bad. It's
My bad, I
bad,
thought it
but
was-
not that
I
bad.
thought it
pretty
was
bad.
So say if you want to bring something,
Yeah.
if you knew a Baylor pretty well that you wanted to bring to this plane dimension, you go to temporarily to the plane where the Baylor is. Once you get to that plane, you give it the tuning fork and bring it back with you, and then be permanently here. That's one of the uses of it. There's other things if you give it more time and study, you could do, but
So-
more
There
to
are
just
many uses that could come into play.
Hello.
You all look above Fordrum's head where he's looking inside of the webs, and there is this massive, I mean massive, looking hag with long, wispy, spider silk looking hair and fingers that are elongated and just hanging out on top of this mound of everything. You can't really see the backside of her body, but she is on top of this pile of webbing looking down at you, and her smile, her mouth goes about 1.5 to 2 feet wide as it is smiling down at all of you. And for reference of size, huge. About that.
No.
Many uses. Yes. You must be the boy.
Joy, you would be aware, or wait. You would be aware of her title, which is Belda Marie. If you look at the token, you can see it. Belda Marie.
You must be the eldest boy. What was the name
Okay.
again?
Astoleth. Poor Miss Astoleth.
It is a pleasure.
Yes. Pleasure.
Hmm.
So, she scurries around and lands on the downside of this area, and you see she has this massive but thin looking thorax at the back of her, as her limbs and her hands are extensions at each prong of these 8 legs that she has, hands at the bottom of each of them as she moves around and scurries around all of you very quickly.
Ah.
Joyce, can I
Oh.
try to attempt to walk up to her? Miss
Joy.
Belda Marie?
Yes, Joy.
Justin told me to bring this to you.
Oh, I thank you.
One of the hands picks it up and throws it towards the tree, where you watch a spider just slinkies down, grabs it, and goes back up.
Neat.
Okay.
So, Joy, I'll get with you in just a moment.
Okay.
Corvus, your name is? By the talks, you all have my item.
That we do.
Well, I have to say, it took longer than I expected, but to be fair, the strongest of your lineage was not working on this, were they? Not from the get-go.
She gets closer to you, Corvus, and her body, you know it's massively large, but as she looms over you, it almost slenders down to fit within your vision on all sides. You're not sure if this is illusion magic or a malleable form, but it is beyond creepy.
I
Yeah.
stepped closer to Corvus too. And I dropped the torch.
Ah. Clever, all of you. to move through the path designated by the student over there.
Just gestures with her long, creepy nails at Joy.
It would have been most unfortunate if any of the newly hatched would have found you.
Mm-hmm.
They all have a mound of their own. But anyways, shall we complete our deal?
The hand just stretches out towards you, Corvus, and the hand is roughly the size of your navel up to the top of your head. Mostly fingers, though. The palm almost looks like an average size palm.
Oh,
Corvus, she could negotiate this with this thing with anybody.
yeah, first, I do have a few questions that I need answered about this deal.
Of course. Nobody can say I'm not opposed to bargains. What is it you
Well,
offer me for your questions?
Out of character, I have to look and see what the hell I have.
Fair.
What do you mean? We're still negotiating for a really powerful item. Just use that as our bargaining chip. She wants what we got more than we want what she knows. Maybe.
I have 6 extra pairs of pants. I picked up for the giant. There you go.
I have much better silk here.
I have a pocket watch,
Oh,
silver with gold chain.
She just holds her one nail out towards you, which is, slightly shorter than a dagger.
let me see it.
I will put it on the nail,
Think.
I guess.
Very gracefully moves it over towards herself.
This will warrant you 2 questions.
Flicks it up, and again, Slinky Spider.
First and foremost, I must ask, in giving you this artifact, will that be enough to completely erase the curse placed upon my family?
It will not reverse what has already transpired, but it will remove the misfortunes of the fates that currently plagues you and all that came from your father's loins.
So, and so going forward, okay? Actually, that was just the one question I had.
Shit, yeah, bro. Here, just
Ask her what she intends to use it for.
Fair enough. If it's not too bold to ask, I would. What is your intent with the artifact?
My intention is to hold power over others of my world. To be able to return home and come back here as I see fit. And to gloat over all of those that do not believe in the Baldar Mari. I will receive many, many boons of personal gain from this item, yes. However, if you're asking me to reveal my overall plan, no, I will not do that.
the entire time she has not stopped smiling. or scurrying around you all in circles.
So she wants to mostly sell passage out of the Fae to here.
She didn't say that.
Well, that's what I got out of that. That may not have been the right interpretation, but that's
Likewise.
how I interpreted what she said.
Okay.
Likewise.
Oh, okay. If that's what you want to believe, sure.
Don't say things like that. That's terrible.
That's my job.
I know.
However, if you are asking if I have any ill intent towards this place, no, I don't. I've been here for over a year, and I grow quite fond of this nest in particular. However, I would like to return home and come back as I please.
A fair enough request for anyone to make.
Of course. So, do you wish to remove the gaze of the fates from your family and lineage?
I looked at Fordham and Argan just to make sure they have no final objections.
Of course. But remember, what would they know about the honor of your family and the value upon that honor?
And she scurries back towards the tree and moves up it until you no longer see her within the branches. Oh, wait, actually. Yeah, none of you see her any longer in the branches. Sorry, Fordram's passive is just high enough that if she did fail, he would see her.
Mm.
That sounds like quite a pickle y'all are in.
We are at that. Corvus, I stick with it being your decision. I can only imagine the lengths that I would take to protect my own family. So, one or the other, I could never judge you for the decision you make.
Hey, Joy,
Yes, Fortune?
if and maybe Argon could answer this too. If a curse has been placed on a family, does the curse die if the thing dies?
It really depends upon the curse.
It depends on the curse, yeah. It depends on what type of curse they're doing. 'Cause some curses can go on definitely, some will end with a creature. If, say, it was more of the 9th level curse spell of Curse of Misfortune, that one doesn't end with a creature. But if it's the Curse of Ill Fates, that one can end.
Argan, she's learned. And to
Yeah.
clarify, she's the first person you've interacted with since you left that place you left that has been learned.
You seem to have a very good education, Joy.
Right, before
I
we
tried
get
my best.
right, yeah, okay. But she did say the ill fates would be turned away from you. So does that mean
Generally, well, not with the death of anything. In some manner speaking, all curses, in theory, can be broken. In theory, at least.
Fordram's eyebrow just goes up?
The difficulty to get rid of it can go anywhere from, hey, I want to eat a piece of cake, to difficulty of doing a back rope over a building backwards. A tightrope, my bad.
And also religion check from Joy and Argan, honestly. Unless the other two are proficient, you can roll then.
If it's outside of my religion, I don't really know anything.
Your religion actually cares about the wilds very much. But only if you're proficient.
Okay, I'm not.
Okay. Joy. You would also be aware that if there was a deal struck with this hag, the curse is the consequence of not following through with the deal. She didn't curse. It is the consequence of breaking a deal. When you make a deal with otherworldly creatures, they're not the ones that have to exact revenge on you.
In case
The
both sides
laws of nature will.
Yeah. In case both participants in the fairness of the deal kind of situation.
And based off of how they've been acting, you're not positive, but it almost sounds like there was a deal struck that wasn't paid forward.
I do have a few questions when I was thinking about it. This is a curse from a deal, it sounds like, from just a general discussion. Sorry for overhearing, my bad. Of overhearing too much. But was this
We
from a
spoke
deal?
right in front of you. That's entirely fair.
I'd still.
Yes, it was a deal.
Did someone break the deal?
My father.
That's not good.
If the deal that was struck gets resolved by someone else, can it remove the curse?
Maybe, more or less. It's like more or less, I would say. Could Jerry gonna comment?
Yeah. Belda Marie can't lie. You're fully aware of that, Joy. She can't lie.
Yep, Faith cannot lie.
It is against the way of Fae to lie. They can't. They are prohibited from ever lying.
So I would say, yeah, if you give whatever item to fix the deal, whatever she said will happen with her exact wording. I do want to warn you though. This is something I've learned is with the Fae, they won't use their words in a lieful manner, but they will mislead you with their wording. So do be careful with that for your deal making.
Yeah, I've known the type.
You generally have to be careful with those, with their wording. Very picky with their words.
So I think the next question is, what was the deal that was broken?
Yeah.
If you're not comfortable with those words being known, Corvus, you should maybe ask that, because maybe it's something easier than giving her the key to the kingdom.
And at the end of the day, if the tuning fork is in the full scope of the deal, it might not. The deal and the curse, whatever curse y'all have, might not go away. It might, maybe only partially might. It might just stay forever and just get the full thing. I'm leaning towards the former more than the latter.
Well, she did just say that that the curse would cease.
Yeah. She said the tuning fork would make the curse cease. So, but again, what if we were able to fulfill the deal? Would that also cure the curse?
If you could fulfill the letter of the deal without giving it, but it would depend upon what the lettering of the deal really was.
Yeah.
Right.
It's how the fiends generally operate is with lettering, not the spirit of the deal. If you can fulfill the exact letter of the deal, generally how it works is they'll let you skate by. You're playing a risky game with it because if they find you're not in the correct, it's still curse is going to go.
And they tend to not like being outsmarted.
Generally not.
But it is theoretically a possibility if we have any idea what the actual wording of the promise was or the deal.
Do y'all have any idea? I can try. I'm not the
exact
best.
wording, no.
I'm not the best at helping with contracts in that nature. But I can try and assist with trying to figure out a way to help you out too much. If I want.
The question is, can we even find out what the Corvus has already used his 2 questions, so we'd have to buy more questions.
I do have a address somewhere in the back. Not entirely certain.
Well,
I have some scrolls.
Like magic scrolls? 'Cause
Yeah,
those
I have
might-
like a scroll of disguise self, a scroll of mage armor, a scroll of magic missile, scroll of unseen servant, scroll of invisibility, scroll of dream.
Those are considerably more valuable than what I've been offering.
Well, that's true, but it's all I've got that isn't extra pairs of
Uh,
pants.
So, Argon, question. Have you already learned from those scrolls?
Yes, I have.
If I were to give, I can give up a component that she might like. In return for if you let me look at those scrolls and learn from them.
Yeah, if that's the route we want to go, I'm certainly willing to make that trade.
I have about up to 400 gold of diamond dust.
Bodies like that.
Do you think she looks like that?
Let me see if she takes the dress first. That might be.
Okay.
If not, then yeah, we can buy something else. But I can't imagine who else would fit to a dress this size.
Hmm.
Wow, how big is the dress?
Well, it's described as being large in my
Oh,
inventory.
why do you have a large dress?
I forget the exact reason why.
Oh,
There is a reason.
I'm sure.
There has to be.
I'm sure I didn't just steal a dress that nobody could wear for no reason.
So, Joy's just like doing thumb thing, like rubbing her thumbs in circles. So, we calling to offer her about the dress.
Yeah, but one more question.
For the one more question about what's the exact wording of the deal.
That would be the one.
Okay.
Around this
Okay.
point, Fordrum, your dagger rotates around a couple of more times, and she just kind of appears behind you from out behind the webs.
Okay. I turn around to face her.
She looks down at the dagger and then back at you.
Oh,
Aw.
that is an interesting item you have there. So what is it?
I would like to.
Do you, Corvus? Do you want to ask? And do you want us to hear it, or do you want to ask in private?
I don't particularly mind if you hold me at this point. So, Eldamari, I must ask,
Yeah.
would I be able to trade this robe for one more question? Aside from asking if you want the robe. The dress.
Is that a fine robe by any chance?
It's described as being fashionable,
Fashionable. Roll me a
I agree.
persuasion.
green with silver.
Silver can be valuable.
22.
Fine, but your next offering must be juicier than that one.
And again, she takes the dress and throws it up.
Fair What was the exact wording of my father's deal?
Did he really not tell you?
You mean the gist of it?
She shakes her head.
I always tell you mortals that you should really write it down. It's very important. Regardless, I can tell you.
Please.
Sorry, only one question.
And goes scurrying back up the tree.
Uh,
You kind
I
of walked
offer
into that one. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Corvus.
That was
Joy raises her hand. I'm gonna try to assist him so I can get knowledge from him. If I give 200 diamond dust, would that be sufficient to answer his question?
She lowers her body now on a thin line down above you all, looming over top of you, Joy.
I mean, unless you wish to ask the questions you came here to ask me originally in place for them. But sure, I'll take the dust as well. I thought your master taught you better than that.
I was trying to offer the dust for as an offering to you for his question for the next sacrifice for them.
She didn't answer my question though.
She did.
She
No?
did. Yes, she
The
did.
exact
She was
wording
just
I asked was the wording of the exact words my father's deal. Not.
I heard, could you tell me the exact wording of my father's deal? Is that not what you said? That's what I heard.
Okay, so she's just being a bitch about it. Got it.
Yes.
Yeah, very much
Could
so.
you ask? Could she tell you? She answered correctly. Yes, she could.
It's like the can I go to the bathroom thing? Can you?
I don't know, can you? Yeah, literally.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's the fake one of that. I'd rather learn knowledge from you about the School of Illusion than assist that much. I think it's much more valuable. She's just blabbering out loud where her thoughts are out loud.
100 gold worth of your dust. And I can warrant you the answer of what you intended to ask me.
Okay. She takes out 2 bags, pours the dust to about 100 G. Yeah, that'll do. And she just holds it up straight above her head, just smiling. Here you go. Thank you.
Takes it.
The exact wording of our deal is that I would give your family foresight into purchases that will make you rich for generations. Places to discover good quality materials that would ensure the future of you and your siblings.
And she reaches out towards you, Corvus, and just like gently boops your nose with her
Can I
nail.
block that?
Boing.
Clank.
And of
No
course,
touching.
Thank you. I say out of the side of my mouth.
and in return for telling him the location of these places, he was responsible to venture into one of them and find me that emblem and to give it to me within reasonable time. Now, it's curious how reasonable time works. You see, for me, reasonable time is when he can physically do it. The misfortune comes from him not acting when he could reasonably do it. See, you could have saved your family a lot of troubles, hardships, and blights if you just simply would have done it when I asked originally. Right now, misfortune glares upon your lineage as collateral until I receive what is due to me. Perks of the heritage.
So there's your answer. Corvus, are you there, or are you just resting?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just thinking.
Okay.
There's no reason for any of us to be hostile towards one another. Your plans to attack me, I really don't wish to come to blows with any of you. None of you have wronged me.
To be fair, we don't technically have a plan to attack.
Sure. It's just at the backs of your minds right now.
And she like winks at you, Fordrum.
Yeah, because Fordrum's like, bitch, you are not seeing the back of my mind. It's on the front of my mind.
Option number 1, get it.
Right.
I say give it to her.
She holds out her hand towards you, Argon.
I will hand it to her.
I cast that, and I'm looking at Argon to see if what color he changes to, if at all.
Okay. Argon does not appear on this spectrum. However, underneath Joy's hood, you see that there is a Fey sense coming from it. And this entity before you, there is a Fey sense coming from it. And from further behind you, there is a lot of Fey presence coming from it, and aberration presence.
Yeah.
No, she doesn't have any elemental spiders with her right now, so yeah, just those. But yeah, you hand over the tuning fork, Argon.
As the fulfillment of the contract of Corvus's family.
Corvus should hand that over, not you.
I'll hand it to Corvus then.
So, Corvus, do you hand it over?
Yes.
Plucks it from your hand between her nails.
Such a beautiful, beautiful item. Thank you.
And she eats it. Immediately as she does that, Corvus, you watch as a green wire pulls off from your shirt and shatters.
Huh.
It would appear that the fates have righted your family's wrong already. You seem much more reasonable than your father. If you wish to parlay any more, feel free. I'm always up to making a good bargain or two.
I feel I've traded as much as I intended to.
Very well. May I ask where you all intend to head next? And before you think I'm trying to be devious, I could very easily hide one of my many, many agents on your clothing and you would never know.
I can't speak for everyone, but I personally intend to head back towards the Astoleth just to see my parents.
Oh, lovely.
Don't really have a plan.
Yeah, no, I was planning to just learn a little bit here, then see what draws my attention next, and just walk.
Well, Joy.
A book gets carried down by a spider and placed into your hands, Joy.
There you go.
Thank you.
Oh, what? Why the book?
Because she returned the other one.
Yeah.
So she's going to have to return this one to you again
Eventually,
in the future?
When she's done with it, yes.
Is courier fine to send it back through? To you?
That is perfectly fine. Now that we have properly met each other, it should not be a problem.
I just look around at a spider-filled thing and think to myself, what motherfucking courier comes into this place? And if that's an
That's gotta
occupation,
be a premium service.
It's pretty pricey, about 25 gold.
25 gold?
Yep.
I don't know that I would do this.
It
for
took
25.
breaking a fucking curse on my goddamn family to get me here. I wouldn't have come within 100 miles of this place otherwise.
Right.
I mean, think about it. You guys did have Fireball this entire time. Just turned it
figured
into
that
a
was-
light show.
I
Doesn't
figured that
it
was a
cost-
great way to piss her off.
Doesn't
Oh,
it
yeah.
cost more than 25 gold to cast Fireball?
No.
No, Fireball is technically
Damage from Fireball might cost 25 more gold,
Yeah.
but Fireball
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
That's just some bat guano.
Hmm.
That stuff's cheap in the right place.
Okay.
Well-
caves we go through. Yeah, it's gotta be.
Well,
No pun
Corvus,
intended.
I like you. So, allow me to give you a little something if I can.
She holds out her finger and you see a tiny spider brooch.
I just look at him and I'm like, what's the cost of that?
I was about to ask the same thing.
It is free. When you decide that you would need any, let's say, otherworldly assistance, why not ask the Madam of the Shade of Noct? And we can make a deal at that time.
Bunch of shade knock whores running around somewhere.
See, but you made a contact in case you ever want to sell your soul in the future.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
we do not deal in souls.
Sorry. Firstborn. Or
I don't deal in those.
Wait a minute, but
I
a
mean-
curse that affects an entire lineage, that's dealing
I did not give that curse. The Fates did. He broke the deal. And that is the consequence that the Fates deemed necessary.
I will hesitantly accept it.
Okay. So go ahead and add brooch of Belda Marie. Madame.
Now I'm looking to see if he turns evil.
Madam of the... Which association was she again?
Shade.
She was the
The Shade of Noct. Go ahead and add that to your treasure, Corvus.
I already did. Oh, treasure.
Well, the proper name to it.
Yeah.
Because in the
already did.
future, I need to know each of those parts when it comes up. Because if you just say Belda Marie, I'm going to be very confused.
impose the
Why,
title of the
how many
book.
Belda Maries do you have? Okay. I get it.
The title of the book, Joy, is The Wonders of Soul Searching and How to Find It in Others. A philosophical tome of the value of companionship and learning through the experiences of others in your presence.
That is the next section of your studies from your master. You might want to find yourself good folk that can teach you many things about the world outside of this forest. Joy.
I'll try my best, and thank you for all your lessons.
Fordram's face is all skewed up like, motherfucker, who are you? Are you saying we're not good folk?
She turns away back towards the tree.
Now I will keep all of my nest calm for 20 minutes. Goodbye.
Goes back up the tree.
We should start heading out quickly.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Let's go.
Do you mind if I tag along? There you
At
do.
this point, I see more reason to keep you with us than to
Yeah,
Let you die.
not.
You're welcome to come along. Besides, I still owe you a pick of a scroll from when we get somewhere a little safer.
I can't.
Said we'd go find out what's in that motherfucking tree. All right.
A lot. There's at least a
No
dress and
shit.
a pocket watch.
And a book.
Right.
Yo,
And 100 diamond dust.
yeah.
100 G of diamond dust.
Sure. So anyways, you all run your way all the way back out of this entanglement of webs and wood until you make it back over into the swampy territory. And I think this is probably where we're going to go ahead and go on break, everybody. We'll be right back.